beautiful Grand Prince Odeon here in downtown Winters, California. We're so glad to see you on this beautiful day. Weather's cooperating. God is with us. Join me in singing a little by respect with peace. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. When my heart is open wide, yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. When my heart is open wide, yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Good morning. Good morning. Can you guys hear me out there?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Yolo. My name is Reverend David Clark, and I am the senior minister here. And it is my distinct pleasure to just welcome you all to another very interesting service. How are you doing, Billy? Our music director, Billy Larkin.
I'm doing great. Despite needing a haircut, I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, I thought it was a new
I
look.
haven't been able to make an appointment, as you can tell. I kind of going for that great Beatles look. Love it. From like the 60s.
I thought it was on purpose.
Oh, thank you.
Rub it in, please, Billy. Please.
I just have too much hair, David. It's such a problem.
No, just tell me about it, please.
David does not have that.
But we have a very special day because it's always great to have our dear friend Gary Weinberg here with us to share some of his incredible music. And since we're doing kind of oddball stuff this month, kind of on status quo, hey, perfect. I'm going to match. All right.
No one destroys the status quo quite like Gary.
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that.
I think that's on his business card. Destroying the status quo near you.
If it isn't, it will be now.
So, welcome everyone. You may be wondering if it's your first time here. It's like, what do I get into? What is the Science of Mind stuff that they study there in this big, beautiful building that we have? Isn't today? I have to say, salute to the morning itself. Wasn't this morning just beautiful?
Yes.
It's crisp and clear, and there was almost a little chill in the air.
Yeah.
So it was quite nice. So thank you, Spirit, for providing yet another perfect day for us. And special welcome to our online audience. Our stream is working, people. It's going out across the universe and is working today. Yes, hallelujah, it is working. So across the universe and planets and places unknown and across this planet, we say welcome to you. So what did you get into here with Science of Mind? Well, Science of Mind teaches spiritual principles, and I'm running my own slides today because we have no Patrick. I got to change the slides up. Pardon me one second. Thank you, Heather. You can see I'm wearing my lapel mic, so you can hear me as I walk around the place. Thank you to Jim Jordan for that. And yes. Oh, and one more thank you to our replacement, our stand-in sound and sound folks back there. Gary and Heather are tearing it up for us. Thank you for making sure we sound perfect as usual. Yeah, so what is Science of Mind? Science of Mind teaches spiritual principles and how to bring about our good through thought, belief, and the interconnectedness of all life. It is the realization that God is in here, not out there somewhere that we have to beckon and plead to come speak and listen to us. God resides within at all times, always accessible, and that connection can never be broken, ever. So that is what we believe. And we also believe a few other things here. And there's 4 core beliefs that we have, and I want to share them with you now. Number 1, we believe that love is all there is. Everything is a call for love, an expression of love, a result of love. Love, love, love is all there is. Number 2, we believe that all thought is creative and influential. Thoughts are things, people. Everything that you see around you, including your beautiful, wonderful selves, has been preceded by thought. And so thought is very, very powerful. It creates human beings, it creates buildings, it creates trees, it has created the entire universe, we believe, sprang forth from a thought. So we pay a lot of attention to what we think and what we believe in this philosophy. Number 3, we believe that you, Gary, that yes, you are whole, perfect, and complete exactly as you are right now. And yes, we live in a world of conditions, and those conditions change, and we judge those conditions. But look, you, the you that is you, is beyond all condition. And that you that is you is whole, perfect, and complete right now. Because we come from a whole, perfect, and complete source. So everything else is just choice and changes. That's it. So number 4, lastly, we believe in a world that works for everyone, and we're working from that world together. We believe this world operates on love and law and cause and effect and works the same way that it always has. And this philosophy just delves into how we can take these natural laws and use them to bring about our good so that we can see the world that we want, the world that we believe in, instead of, what we may be seeing now is a world that may not be open to working for everyone. So that's what we want to do, and that's what we want to promote. So now, it is my favorite time for my favorite time of the day, our Namaste time, where we take a moment to look into the eyes of each other and see that whole, perfect, and complete shard of infinite that is staring back at them. And we do that with our acknowledgement and say Namaste. So let's Namaste. Oh, and if you're so inclined, say a Namaste, swing by the camera, say a Namaste to our online audience too. They get a kick out of that, I think. I hope y'all are taking this Namaste out into the world. It's a wonderful practice to look at each and every person that you meet out on the street and know the exact same thing that you knew about each other in here. Because it is just as true outside of the center as it is inside of the center. And so let's live that. So now I want to welcome our practitioner of the day, Marty Meyer. She's going to give us our vision, our mission, and share with us today's affirmation. So please welcome Marty Meyer. Good morning, Marty.
and pleasure to share with you now our vision and mission statement. Our vision. I'll read it first. Our vision is to create an environment for all to realize the power of spiritual connection.
Sorry.
We can all read it together. This is good. Ready? Our vision is to create an environment for all to realize the power of spiritual connection. Yes. And our mission statement is to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired to embody spiritual principles and live their inherent greatness. And all together, our mission is to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired to embody spiritual principles and live their inherent greatness. Thank you. And each week we have an affirmation, and today's affirmation is, and I'll read it first, I am gentle with myself and the world, knowing we are all healing together. And everyone? I am gentle with myself and the world, knowing we are all healing together. Amen. So I now invite our board president, Peggy Gredenthal, to read the announcements.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right, we have just 3 quick announcements today. And for Jason Gerardo, the third Thursday, which is August 15th, is the forgiveness class. And on Sunday the 18th, Jason has the walking meditation. And for both of these events, please go to onepathcoaching@gmail.com for further information and for emailing with Jason. The next one on August 17th, Jason again will be participating in Stop the Stigma, a mental health awareness fair. As you can see from the slide. That slide. It's very busy, and so there's a lot of information up there. And again, so please go to Jason's website for all the details. And that is, I believe, in Sacramento. So, and then lastly, we are requesting a little help, and we just wanted you to consider some volunteer options, especially if you come here. Once we need more greeters and ushers, so we would love to have people volunteer for that, and also some assistance with the fellowship hall, setting up, cleaning up, that type of thing. Okay, that's all I have today. Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy. And now as we enter into the more contemplative portion of today's service, please join me in singing The Face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today we have a sacred reading. We have two, actually. The first one is, we can have no understanding of divine compassion unless we ourselves first exercise compassion. The very judgment by which we judge others becomes a self-judgment. It is as if the law of life were giving back to each one of us exactly what we have projected into it. As though everything that goes out from us must again return by a law of action and reaction. As by Ernest Holmes from Help for Today. And when you open, you bring more energy into the system, and it can heal. Energy can heal, and that's why love can heal. And that's why Michael Singer from The Untethered Soul, The Journey Beyond Yourself. Thank you. And next up is our pulpit assistant, Marty Meyer, with the invocation.
Welcome. I invite you to take a moment, take a breather, and just relax. Let yourself drop from that head space down into your heart space. And let go of everything that came before this moment. So that we can feel presence. So that we can come into that place of recognizing that there's only one thing going on here. There's just one power that flows through the universe. There's one intelligence that indwells the universe. There is one presence that embodies all things. And we know that this something is the sum total of all good. So it is peace, it is joy, it is wisdom, it is freedom, it is compassion, it is everything good. This spiritual consciousness that guides the universe. And it guides us. It is within us. It is within every cell of our body. It is who we are. And just feeling that presence for a moment. So being in this deep understanding of oneness with peace, oneness with joy, oneness with all the good that there is, opens our hearts to gratitude and thanksgiving. It opens us up to feeling faith and feeling trust. And so we bless this knowingness and we bless this service. We bless Reverend David Clark for his inspiring messages. We bless Billy Larkin and Gary Weinberg for their uplifting music. We bless Heather and Gary behind the scenes for their essential technological support. We bless everyone who came early to help set up this service. And we bless everyone who's here to enjoy it. Thank you for being here. And bless you, everyone. Knowing that everything is unfolding in absolute perfection, just exactly the way it is, I let this go, I release it and allow it to be so, and acknowledge it with the words, and so it is.
So it is.
And now, as promised, the one and only Gary Weinberg.
Thank you, Billy. And thank you, David. And thank you, all the Heathers who are here. And thank you to my beautiful wife, Lauren, just because. So I tried to come up with a couple of songs that would kind of support the themes, both for the month, which is, I understand, the unstatus quo. And so I've got a song for that, but it's not this one. So I hope, can I say what I think is the title of your talk today? Or do you want me to say that for you to actually reveal that?
You can say.
Okay, so, and correct me if I'm wrong, the title of David's talk today is Trauma 101. Good luck finding a song for Trauma 101. But I think I have one. And it is called Feeling Pretty Good About the World Despite the News. 24 hours a day, the cable news doles out the daily pain. War, disease, and politics. Oh, here we go again. There's just too much suffering everywhere you turn. It's like God just threw up her hands and said, I'll let the whole thing burn. But then my baby girl, she crawls into my lap, and she wipes away my blues. So I'm feeling kind of good about the world despite the news. Someone took a chainsaw to America, cut her right in half. It's funny, but it makes me want to cry, 'cause it's just too hard to laugh. A friend of mine had to close her shop. It took her 10 years to build. And I wonder if all this crap will stop before my faith is killed. And then I see the sun set beyond the hills, in golden tones and deep majestic hues. And I'm feeling pretty good about the world despite the news. I'm not some starry-eyed dreamer walking blindly through the rubble of a world that's grown too old before its time. But I just can't help believing that we've all got the answers if we have the will to open up our eyes. Turning off CNN and Fox and my neighbor down the street. do like to stay informed, but I confess I'm just beat. I just want to shake my brother's hand. Someday I will again. So I keep a little space for sanity's embrace, and I will wait till then, because I see divine intention in it all, and an eagle flying slowly into view. And I'm feeling kind of good about the world. Yes, I'm feeling pretty good about the world. Yes, I'm feeling pretty good about the world, despite the news. Yes, I'm feeling pretty good about the world. Thank you.
Gary Weinberg, y'all. My brother from another mother. So, here we are with a rather challenging month. We're talking about the status quo and how we're going to kind of move beyond that and make our status quo much larger than it is today. And so last week we talked about the myth of othering, how we can take people and put them outside of spirituality, outside of God, outside of good, and how we ought not do that. And how's that going? We have a couple of tools to use, pulling people into that gray area to where we can start entertaining the possibility that they're just like us, that we're all alike. So hopefully that's going well for you if you're working on that. Today is going to be another challenge. We're going to talk about trauma. And what about trauma? Well, trauma as it relates to how we relate to each other, to how open we are as a center and as individuals to people that walk through those doors that have experienced some kind of trauma that they're dealing with. And what is trauma? We'll get that out of the way first of all. Trauma is when we experience very stressful, frightening, or distressing events that are difficult to cope with or out of our control. Trauma. And it's relative. It's different for everybody what brings on those feelings of trauma, but it could be anything. But we don't really like to talk about trauma. And a lot of that is because we have trauma ourselves that is unresolved, that we have a hard time talking about our own trauma, much less listening to someone else's trauma. It makes us uncomfortable because we're empathetic creatures, okay? This is a good thing that we feel each other's feelings, but we can't allow ourselves to hide from each other's feelings. And that's kind of what our tendency is as individuals when someone's sharing their trauma with us, or they have a traumatic event that's happening in their lives. We kind of get away from it. And spiritually, we can be a little Pollyanna about it. And, oh yeah, just, think your troubles away. And, God is everything. And you're going to be okay. And, yeah, I'll talk to you later. And that's called a spiritual bypass, for, if you don't know. But yes, that's our normal MO in dealing with trauma. Why change it? Well, because we need each other. We need each other. And we need the truth of each other in order so that we can all rise. Is anybody watching the Olympics right now? Oh yeah, we all are. I'm an Olympics junkie. Every 4 years, I got to get it all. And my lovely wife Heather, who doesn't watch a lot of sports, she's the one saying, "Hey, what are we going to watch tonight? What sport are we going to watch?" And then it's really cool the way they have it now. You can just kind of flip through and you pick your sport that you want to see and you see it. And invariably, as you're watching the broadcast, you're going to get into personal stories about these athletes and about what they've been through and about their road to get to the Olympics, which is a long road for virtually everybody that's there. It's the culmination of their community, of surviving what they've been through, of good choices of their teachers. There isn't just one person standing there on the podium, or even the person that is in last place. They had to pull together all the same stuff that person in first place had to pull together. Yesterday we were watching breaking. Which is extremely cool to watch people from around the world, from around the planet, all of these different cultures, all of these different ways of being, man, woman, every shade of gender is out there dancing, and what is really refreshing about it is to see all of these different people acting black. That is awesome. Because it started in New York. And it started with minorities, black people, Hispanic people, minorities of different shades, developing this dance style, and now here it is. It's a dance style, it's on the Olympics and they're competing, and it's wonderful to see. Because beauty is universal. It's good to get a confirmation of that beauty is universal. Someone in Uzbekistan is watching these breaking moves thinking, wow, that's awesome. I want to do that. I want to get into that culture. I want to adopt that. And all they see is something beautiful. Something that attracts them. They don't care that a black person developed it. A black person created that. Oh, no, I can't do it. No, they don't have those hang-ups. They just see something cool that they want to do. And that is the wonderful thing about Olympics. But one of the last place people, one of the last seated people that we saw was a person from, there are a group of athletes that represent refugee people that don't have a country. And they're athletes that if they did have a country, they'd be performing for their country, but they don't, and so they've got this group of refugees. And one of them was breaking. And she did her routine, and she went up against someone else, and the person was like way better than them. Even if you don't know anything about breaking, you can watch and you can see, okay, that person just beat that person. And you can tell, you don't have to be educated to know. But that person from that refugee, from the refugee team, was dancing her butt off. She was dancing her butt off, and it gets me a little emotional thinking about it, thinking about what she had to go through to get to that spot, what she had to escape, what she had to endure, and what she had to do just to get out there and dance in front of, right along with everybody else in front of millions of people. She was wearing a jacket, she took off her jacket, and she was wearing a kind of a cape that said, "Free Afghan Women." And so, what she did through that entire thing was she shared her trauma. and the trauma of her people with us through dance and literally through the message that was written on her back. I was inspired by her. What an amazing story. I don't know anything else about her. I need to go out and look her up and see where she's from and what she did and all these things. But initially, just based on what I know, her message was so inspirational and had such a powerful effect on me, and I know she had an effect on other people that were watching. That's the power of sharing your trauma. You can inspire people. You can inform people. So we shouldn't run away from each other's trauma. We need to be open as a center, and we need to be open as individuals for when someone is sharing that with us. How do we present ourselves to let people know, hey, you can share with me? It's safe to share with you. Well, if you were wondering those, if you were asking those questions, you're in luck. It just so happens that I've got a few different ways that we can prepare ourselves and signal that we're ready to listen. We're ready to hear. We're ready to help if we can. So, yes, so individually here are a few things that we can do. And I want to share this Ernest Holmes quote with you before we get into that. We are not so cold-blooded as to say to a person with pain that there's no such thing as pain. That's not our idea or purpose. We admit the fact. It's quite a different thing to admit that it's necessary. Your pain, your suffering isn't necessary for your survival. It's not necessary for your happiness. You don't have to bear a burden that weighs you down and keeps you from your joy. It's not a necessity, okay? So we are big on prayer here. And when we pray, when we do our form of praying, affirmative prayer, we deny conditions because that is not God. God is not in the condition. God is in the perfect person that is behind the condition. So that's where we put our faith in, not in appearances. But when we're dealing with each other, we have to deal with appearances. If someone's in pain, we got to deal with that pain. We have to hear it and listen to it and acknowledge it and then know that the person can be healed from it. That the person can be relieved of this pain. So, how do we keep ourselves open? The first thing we can do is practice active listening. When someone comes to you and they're ready to talk, listen. Listen with your full mind. Listen with your full heart. Without interrupting and without immediately trying to offer solutions. Just listen. And as we're listening, validate their feelings. Phrases like, oh, that sounds really difficult. And I'm here for you whenever you want to talk. Just those words to a person that feels that they don't have anybody to talk to a person that feels that they're alone, can change someone's life. And we're all about connection here at the Center for Spiritual Living Yolo, right?
Yes.
We believe we're connected to Spirit, and we believe we're connected to each other. And so that connection has power, that connection has responsibility. We're here to help each other down this road. And part of that is just by listening. So number 2, create a safe space. Make it clear that you're a safe person to talk to. Reassure people that their feelings are valid and that it's okay to express whatever it is that they're experiencing. And respect boundaries. If someone is not comfortable talking, or if they don't want to talk at all, we don't press. Right? We don't hound, even if we see something that's, we see something that might indicate to us, that's suffering there. Hey, unless that person is ready to come forward and talk about it, then we don't engage with it. But we keep our hearts open. Also, speaking of safe space, when we greet each other here, those of us that know each other may go in right for a hug immediately. And hugs are great. But then again, depending on who you are, where you've been, what you've been through, a hug might be a terrifying experience. So we don't want to just jump up and say, I'm a hugger, give me a hug. We don't necessarily want to say that, but if you feel the urge to hug someone, if you want to hug someone, ask them if they would like a hug. Ask them, is it okay to hug? That acknowledges to the person that you're talking to that, it's okay if I can just say, no, thank you. It also acknowledges to the person that's over here that's kind of watching and listening indirectly. Oh, wow, they asked if they could hug. They care whether I want to hug or not. Not everyone does, and that's perfectly okay. But that's part of creating a safe space, is being aware that there are people that are sensitive about these things. They're sensitive about being touched. They're sensitive about their interactions with people. So, number 3, be patient and non-judgmental. Non-judgmental of the entire situation. Someone comes to you and says, yeah, I had a traumatic experience. My dad did X, Y, and Z, or my mom did X, Y, and Z. And you hold that person in your heart and you're like, yes, I understand. And then they tell you about this other person and we're like, oh, that person that did that to you, ooh. We're judging. We're still judging. We can't judge the person. We can't judge the situation. Our job is to be an open heart, a receptacle for a person to come by and say, hey, I've had this trauma, and for us to listen. And that's it. And we're listening at our best when we're not always judging what's coming at us. It's a rest. It's a break. Give your brains a break. And you don't have to come up with judgments or solutions. All we need to do is listen and be there. And those are some of the hardest things to do. So, avoid that judgment. Give the person time to get through their story. Sometimes if a person's talking to you about a trauma that they've had, it may take them a minute to get through it. So just be patient. Be patient with them and let them get their story out and let them express how they want to express to you. And just be open for that. Number 4, consistent support. Offer consistent support. If you say that you're going to be somewhere at a certain time, then be there. Yeah? We can all respect that. Yes? And if someone is sharing something with you, check in with them. See how they're doing. If they shared with you if they shared their phone number with you, if you see them that next week, hey, how's it going? After they shared something with you. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm doing good. It's a signal that you care. That you care and that you're open. And also being reliable is a sign that you care. It's a sign that you are important enough for me to keep my word to you. And for people that have experienced trauma, self-worth is an issue. It's not, I'm not worthy enough for them to show up to this thing. They're not going. I invited them, but they're not going to come. These kinds of things. So be consistent in your support. And number 5, respect their autonomy. Respect who they are as a person. That is a person, a living, breathing human being sitting there with you that has choice, that has power. Respect who they are. And support them as best you can, and avoid trying to fix things for them. Oh, that's a situation. I know exactly what to do. Present them with ideas. You can present them with ideas, but don't be in a rush to just fix everything just because they're sharing it with you. Number 3, educate yourself. Learn about trauma and its effects. Read a little bit about trauma. Understand what it does to the mind. If you really want to be there and be effective for someone. And be mindful of triggers and certain topics that might trigger you. Sorry, I got a little bit confused in my notes. Let's move on. Okay. Offer practical help. So you could say something like, someone that's going through trauma might have difficulty with just regular tasks. If you could run an errand for someone, if you can help watch their dog, if you can help in whatever way, you all know how you can help people and how you're available and in what form that you're available. So if you are available to help and it's something that you can do, offer your help. And with practical things. Also, and this is very valuable, be a calming presence. Your calm, grounded energy can help them feel more at ease. Sometimes just being there without saying anything is the most supportive thing that you can do. Just being there, listening, actively, attentively, lovingly. Sometimes that's all a person needs in that moment. Encourage professional help. We can do a lot through spirituality. We can do a lot through science of mind. We can do a lot through prayer for each other. We can do a lot through the realization of our own power. But sometimes we need even more than that. Sometimes it's a power that we have to go and ask for help. That is the biggest expression of our power, is to say, hey, I need help. I feel powerless in this situation. That takes a lot of courage to do. So, if you can see that professional help this person might benefit from, they might benefit from some therapy. Especially if you've gone through therapy yourself and you know how powerful it is and you know how much it can help you, suggesting that for someone else is completely valid. Be aware of your own limits. Supporting someone through trauma can be emotionally draining. So you have to know when to take care of yourself. You have to know how to take care of yourself. You have to be aware of, things that are draining you down that you might need to talk to somebody else about. So, as they say on an airplane, always put your oxygen mask on first. Because if you're not helping yourself, you can't help anybody else. That's just the way it goes. Number 10. And lastly, express love and self-care. Let them know that you love them and care about them regardless. Unconditionally. And unconditional love is such a special, special thing, and we can really hand that out to anybody that we please. But once we do, it has such an effect on our lives, such an effect on the person's life that's going through trauma. And be patient. Healing from trauma takes time. And we're all in different phases of whatever trauma that we've been through. Some of us are at the end of the road, looking back, thinking, whoa, I'm glad I made it. I didn't think I was going to make it through all that, and I did. And And we're at the end of the road, we're at gratitude, and things are great. That's no longer a weight on my shoulders. Others of us are just walking through that door to start working on trauma. Just starting down this road of seeing what happened, dealing with what happened, knowing that we are not what happened to us, that doesn't define us, that doesn't determine our future. If you're at the end of the road, you already know that. But if you're at the beginning, you're just starting to open the door to the crack of possibility, just a little tiny possibility that you could be happy, that you can get over whatever's happened to you. So yes, express self-love and care. So what does all this mean if we do all this? We can be the kind of center that we know that we are. This is a healing space. This is a loving space. This is a space where we know that God is first. And since we're all part of the one, we're all first. And that's a very powerful position to be in. And everyone that walks through that door, we want them to have the same realization that they're first too. That they're loved. That they're powerful. We want everyone to know this exact same thing that we know and practice about ourselves every week. And we can do that by opening our arms, by calling in those people that we consider to be others, by calling in those people that have been through traumatic events, by calling in those people that feel less than whole for whatever reason. Whether you have a limp, whether you have constant pain, whether you have a handicap, whether you have whatever it is that makes us feel less than whole, we welcome you here. And it's a very active welcoming. So that's the kind of work that we need to do inside ourselves so that we can be as welcoming as we know we are. Be as welcoming as we want to be. So for your home play, I want to encourage you to open your hearts. The first thing that you can do to show and signal people that, hey, love is emanating from you, is to just smile and nod and just acknowledge another person. When I do that, I can be out at the supermarket, I'll smile and nod to people, and I'll get this. I've actually gotten that before. My first inclination is like, well, what's your problem? Don't you know I'm loving you? Sit down and receive this love. That's my first reaction. My second reaction is, man, that person might have had a bad day. Man, that person, maybe they got a stomachache and they don't feel very well. Maybe they're going through allergies. Maybe they just argued with their spouse. Who knows? It's that old gray area again. That gray area of ignorance. We don't know what other people are going through. So we can't make snap judgments about people. The best thing that we can do is continue to love them and pull them into that gray area. There's stuff about you I don't know. There's stuff about you that I don't know, that if I did know, I'd say, oh, wow, you're a lot like me. Oh, wow, I'd react to that the same way. Oh, wow, we're more alike than I know, than I realized. So pull those people, those others, even those people that say, I don't want your love. There's a lot of people like that out there, right? They want to make you an enemy. They're angry, they're upset, they want to make enemies of you. Maybe they'll throw an insult. But we don't have any enemies. We don't have any enemies. No one can come up to me and force me to treat them like an enemy. I have to choose that. And as long as I can choose it, I'm going to choose love. Now, there are extreme situations. If you walked up to me and slapped me in the face, you might be my enemy. I might be willing to make you an enemy. But look, short of that, I mean, we're making people enemies just by giving us an off look at the supermarket. We don't have to do that. We're making people enemies just because they have a different opinion than we have. We don't have to do that. We're making people enemies that just have a different political affiliation than we do.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that. Okay? The times when we have to make an enemy are very plain and clear. Slap on the face. It will be that clear to you. Everything else, we can pull these people into our gray area. We can expand our ideas of love. We can expand our ideas of oneness far beyond where they are right now. We can go farther. As far as they are, we can go farther. So that's what I want to encourage you to do, to love openly, to share that love in your heart. And don't be so quick to judge other people, because sometimes they're going through trauma we don't understand. We just pull them into that gray area and find a way to love. So let's take that into prayer. Let's take a deep breath. That sweet, sweet breath of life. It is the breath of oneness. It is the breath that makes us all equal. There is one spirit, one guide, one consciousness, one life, one love, one mind. And this one is the source of all power. It is all good. It is all wisdom. It is all joy. It is all creativity. Everything, all of existence has sprung forth from this one. And that means that you and I are also part of this one. We are unbreakably connected to each other and to Spirit. And through this connection, we have all of the power we need. We have all of the beauty. We have all of the wisdom. Why? Because we are part of the one that is everything. It is our birthright, each one of us worthy of this great gift that we've been given. Worthy of being who we are. Worthy to wield the power of the universe. Worthy of joy. Worthy of happiness. And so I'm joyful to know that I can be a safe space for someone. That I can hear their trauma, I can hear what they're going through, I can offer my unconditional love and have it not diminish me, not one little bit. And as love flows through me, I know that there is ever more love inside of me to give. It is not in danger and it will never run out. So it's with great joy and gratitude that I release these words. I release them into the mind of the universe to do its work, to shine a beacon of light to all those in search of worthiness, in search of care, in search of connection, so that all those might see this beacon and be drawn to it. Be drawn to this center, be drawn to these wonderful souls that are here listening and participating and sharing their love. I'm so happy to be able to do this. I'm so happy to proclaim it. I'm happy to know this about myself and about each and every person here. About each and every person that's listening to us online, about each and every person that is roaming this planet right now. I know the truth of our connection. And it is good. So let us all release these words into the mind of the universe, knowing that they're true and done and acted upon immediately by a loving spirit, with the words, and so it is.
Thank you, Reverend David. And once again, this is Gary Weinberg. I'm going to join him on this song. Just sort of picked it up a little bit this morning. Just bear with me. Anything else you want to say about this song?
No, but I do want to say thank you for that talk, Reverend David, and my brother from another mother. But you made me think about something. So we talked about the Olympics, and we've been watching them too. And I've also been seeing these little blurbs that pop up on my phone that are Olympics related, because you've got all these countries coming together, and a lot of Americans apparently are showing up. And one of the blurbs was titled, "What Europeans Don't Get About Americans." And one of the things was, we smile at strangers. And apparently Europeans think that's a little bit odd. And I've been doing that myself for most of my life. I walk past somebody and just kind of look them in the eye and acknowledge them, and I'll do a little nod. And most people will respond the same way. And I did that I was running around the park where we live, and I started kind of walking a little bit, and someone was passing me, and I looked at them in the eye and smiled and nodded, and they didn't respond. And I said, "Gotta be a European." Okay, so we're just going to play this song. I think this is an unstatus quo kind of song. Here we go. Are you thinking that your life's a mess? What's gonna happen is everybody's guess. You just can't picture that even one good thing, and you're no good. Nobody loves you. Nobody even ever could. Got a dark cloud hanging over your head. It's time to put those lying nasty thoughts to bed. That's what you're thinking. Wake up, my friend. You gotta think again. 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 Thank you.
Rock on.
Rockin' good, yeah? Gary Weinberg, y'all.
The New Thought Rocker.
So, we are a center, and let me get to this page because I'm going to tell you what kind of center we are. There it is. We are a center that observes the spiritual practice of giving and tithing. We call it conscious, committed, and structured giving. And there are many ways to give and expand your abundance consciousness. We give of our time through volunteering, we give of our talents through participation, and we give of our treasure through financial donations. Your gifts help us in our mission to provide a sanctuary for all to be lifted and inspired to embody spiritual principles and to live their inherent greatness. And every month we are getting together with a new partner that shares our views and our values and our mission. And we give them a little portion of our tithe to help support them in their job and what they're trying to do. And this month we're supporting Rise Inc. And their vision is to build healthy, strength-based communities where everyone's talents and gifts are shared. Rise's vision is to foster communities where all individuals feel connected and valued. And we are down with that. So please know that a little portion of what you give is going to be sent to Rise to help them in their good work. So there are many ways to give. And I forgot my little clicker again, right? But I don't have to stop talking just because I go down there and get the clicker, because I have a lapel mic now. That's I'm going on and on about the lapel mic. I'm just so happy to have it. Let's see, where are we at on the slides? And Patrick, if you're out there listening, we miss you.
Dave, this is you.
All right, so there are many ways to give. We can text to give at this number here. We can also go out to our PayPal, and this is our PayPal address. And we can also send a good old-fashioned check or money order to CSL Yolo. And a couple other ways, you can go out to our website at cslyolo.org and click on the donate button, or you can just put some money in the good old-fashioned plate that we're going to send around to you. So we have many, many, many ways to give. So now that we know why we give and we know how to give, let us enter into that sacred consciousness of divine abundance. And I ask you to place your hand over your heart, symbolizing the vibrational energy of circulation. And please say with me our abundance affirmation. I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive. Today, I celebrate my prosperity and my ability to share from my overflow of good. I give from the knowledge that all is well, even when I forget what I'm saying.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need.
release these gifts to do their work of proclaiming the good news that all is well. As we have freely given according to the law of circulation, it returns to us, full measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. So we will always have more to enjoy and to spare, to give and to share. For this we give thanks. We let it be so. And so it is. Thank you. And we have a message for our children out there, the children that are headed this way, the children that we have nestled deeply into our hearts. We want to say, we love you.
We love you.
We're here for you.
We're here for you.
And we're so glad you're here.
And we're so glad you're here.
Yes, we are. We also believe in the power of connection at this center. And that means, what does that mean? That means that we are connected to each other unbreakably. And we're connected to spirit unbreakably. And that connection has power. And we exercise that power through prayer. So if you find yourself in need of prayer today, prayer practitioners, please raise your hands and let us know who to come to for prayer. If you find yourself in need of prayer today, please let us know, let me know, let our prayer practitioner Deborah know, and let us pray for you. Let us see God working its way out in your life, in your affairs, and the good that is unfolding for you now. It is our pleasure to do it. It is our calling to do that. So please, if you find yourself in need of prayer, if you're the shy type, or if you don't want to approach anyone, then you can just fill out a prayer request and put it in our box of yes back there on the welcome table. And alternately, if you are seeing us from online and you would like prayer, please go to our website and take the practitioner's link, and you can submit a confidential prayer request there, and it's only looked at by our prayer practitioners and myself and prayed on all week. So, well, there you have it. You have no excuse not to reach out for prayer. Fellowship. We're having fellowship after the service. Coffee and tea and some goodies are down there, and fellowship, so we can all talk and get to know each other and just have a good old time. So please join us downstairs after the service for fellowship, after our closing song and benediction, which we will have now, if we can all get into a big circle. And yeah, and we're going to have our closing song. Circle up. Circle up! Might have to move a little bit with that. Yes, we can move our circle. And pursuant to that, I suppose I should ask if you do have a problem holding hands, you don't have to hold hands. You don't have to. This circle is virtual, and there is no break in our connection. Come on over. I can almost reach Heidi. I got her. All right. We are a circle, a blessed circle.
Blessed amoeba.
Yes.
God loves you. And so it is.
So it is.